If you're looking to build your confidence around your ability to sketch out ideas, one of the best things that you can do is build your visual vocabulary. Let's explore how you might do that. Hello and welcome to Verbal to Visual Video. I am your host, Doug Neill, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 techniques for building your visual vocabulary, which refers to the number of elements, number of objects and things that you are comfortable drawing. A bank that you can pull from when you're working with ideas and sketching those ideas out. Let's get right into it. The first one is simple. Look around your immediate environment, pick an object that you see, and then draw that object. This first activity will help you develop the skill of taking a complex three-dimensional object that's in front of you and breaking that object down into simple, straight, and curved lines, and then reproducing those curved lines in a way that hopefully resembles the object that you're looking at. That simplification of a complex object is a skill, one that you will get better at the more that you do it. So with this first activity, not only are you building your visual vocabulary with each new object that you draw, you're also improving that skill of breaking down a complex object into simpler lines. One of the things that I've started to do to build that exercise into my daily routine is to start off my morning before I do a bit of free form stream of conscious journaling. I start by drawing something that I see around me. By doing that first thing, I know that I will get at least a little bit of drawing practice in every single day. If you're not much of a journaler, you might keep some index cards on hand and then once a day pull one of these out and draw something that you see around you. Maybe even go for a walk and draw something outside. Otherwise you might get bored, as I am starting to do with the coffee shop, of always having to draw something in the same location. So try mixing up the environment in which you are picking something to draw. Next, instead of looking around your immediate environment, look into the ideas that interest you. Specifically, read a book, or listen to a podcast, or watch a talk. Then pick just a single idea from that book, or that podcast, or that talk, and sketch it out. Now the goal of this second activity isn't to create a complete sketch note of a whole set of ideas. Instead, it's to focus in just on one idea and take a little bit of time to figure out how you might draw out that idea, because that's the type of thing that will lead to learning how to draw new elements, new objects, things that you haven't drawn before. And what I like about this activity is that the consumption of interesting information is often what sparks in me the desire to actually sketch something out. So when there's an idea that I'm excited about, I'm much more gung-ho about pulling out a pen and some paper and figuring out what type of visual best represents that idea. So this one's kind of a mini sketchnoting session with the specific purpose of building your skills, and specifically building your visual vocabulary. Another way to build your visual vocabulary around your interests is to pick a topic that you are interested in. Then make a list of words related to that topic, and then draw out one word at a time. This technique is similar to how you might learn a new language. For example, this is one of my Spanish textbooks from college. And if we look at the table of contents, we will find Hola, ¿qué tal? En la universidad, la familia, los pasatiempos, las vacaciones, de compras, la rutina diaria, la comida, and a bunch more. So you can see that with each chapter, while you are learning grammar, you are also learning vocabulary around a particular topic. That's a more interesting and likely more effective way to learn new vocabulary, to group that vocabulary around a theme rather than it being completely random. So you can use that same technique when building your visual vocabulary. Speaking of language development, you might also pick up a word of the day app or sign up for a newsletter and then draw the new word that comes out each day. This one could be a bit of a challenge because the words that they tend to come up with aren't always the most common words. But you'll still be developing that skill of coming up with a visual for a word, even if that word is a little bit obscure and you never come across it in the future. And to make that activity even more valuable, after you do come up with a sketch for a given word, then you could add a new list below that sketch with other words that might be represented by that image. That's part of the power behind developing your visual vocabulary in the first place. With each new image that you learn, that image could correspond to quite a few different ideas. Finally, you could tap into that endless stream of stimuli that exists on social media. But instead of mindless scrolling, why not pick one thing from your social media feed and draw it out? There's actually a Twitter account dedicated to that very activity that's called Drawn Your Tweet. Each day he picks someone's tweet and literally draws it out. Now, you don't have to go that far, but you might end up engaging with your social media feed in this new way. So what we see in these skill building activities are two that pull from your interests, two that pull from who and what you surround yourself with, and one that's fairly random. I think that this combination over time will lead to a personalized but still balanced visual vocabulary. So go try some or all of these activities for yourself and know that with each new element that you add to your visual vocabulary, the more prepared and the more confident you will be the next time you sit down to sketch out some ideas. Good luck, and I'll see you next time. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to see more like these, please subscribe. I am committed to making a weekly video throughout all of 2017, and I have shared a past video that I think pairs well with this one right over there, so check that out too. And if you really want to dig deep into this topic of building your sketchnoting skills, check out the resources that I linked below this video. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.